We continue from where we left. We now illustrate the computation of a rights issue. A rights issue, as earlier indicated, is when shares are offered to existing shareholders at a discount. So there's cash coming in, but the cash is not coming in at the full market price of the shares, so it means there's an element of a bonus in the rights issue. So the bonus fraction is measured as the fair value per share immediately before exercise of rights divided by the theoretical X rights price, or the TEP. This should be applied to all periods, e.g. months prior to the issue. We have an illustration here. So we are shown a rights issue on a 1-for-4 basis. Share price immediately before exercise of rights is 10 cents, $10. The rights issue price is 6.50. So you can see that there's a discount there. The shares are trading at 10, but they're being offered to the shareholders at 6.5. Some questions will only ask you to compute the TEP, especially in the multiple choice. So understand this calculation of computing the TEP. This is the shares you had before the rights issue. In this case, 4 shares times the share price or the market price before the rights issue, in this case 10, which gives you 40. Then to that you add the rights issue 1 times the rights issue price of 6.50 to give you 6.50. So you add the 40 plus 6.50 to give you 46. Then you divide, you add also the 4 plus 1 to give you 5. So if you had 5 shares, if you had 4 shares, you now have 5 shares. So your TEP is simply 46.50 divided by 5 to give you 9.30 as your TEP. So the bonus fraction is the 10, the market value, divided by the TEP of 9.3. So when you're restating the previous year's EPS, then you use a reciprocal. So you flip the bonus fraction, so it becomes 9.3 divided by 10. We'll go into a comprehensive example question which will cover a market issue, a bonus issue, and a rights issue. So in this lecture question, on 1st January X1 S had 2 million ordinary shares in issue. On 30 April 20X1, the company issued at full market price 270,000 ordinary shares. Then on 31st July Now let's take these as they were being issued. Our year end, you've got your year end as 31st December there in the requirement X1. So from 1st January to 30 April, that is 4 months. So that's our first calculation there. The 2 million shares were in full issue for 4 months. So 2 million divided by 4/12. We'll come back and discuss the bonus fractions this side. So for now, just take note that the 2 million shares were in issue for 4 months. So you have to compute a weighted average for those 2 million. And then we saw that on 30 April, there was a full market price issue of 270,000 shares. So we add the 270 to the 2 million to give us 2,270,000 shares. These were an issue for how many months? There was a rights issue on 31st July. So from April, that is 30 April, so we start with what? We start with May, June, July. So from May to July, 3 months, we had 2,270,000 shares. So you do a weighted average for those 3 months. We ignore the bonus fraction for now. Then we move to the rights issue. The rights issue was 1/10. And the rights issue was at $2. 1/10 means how many shares? We've got 2,270,000 shares. So you simply divide this by 10. So the rights issue resulted into 227,000 shares. You add that to the 270,000 shares to give you 2,497,000 shares. We had this for how many months before the bonus issue? July, the bonus issue was in September, so we've got August, September, 2 months. So your weighted average is 2 months out of 12. Then we move to the bonus issue. The bonus issue was 1/20. How many shares do we have? We have 2,497,000. Divide this by 20, you get 124,850 shares. You add this to the 2,497,000, you get 2,621,850 shares, which we had for 3 months, October, November, December. So we've done our 12 months. So you want to ensure when you add the numerators, the 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3, you get 12 months. So we now compute our bonus fraction. Remember, the bonus fraction is applied retrospectively, meaning you go backwards to the months before. It was a 1 for 20, so meaning you had one share, you had 20 shares, you get one more, you now have 21. So that is the 21 over 20 there. So this 21 over 20, we are going to apply it retrospectively to the months before the bonus issue, which is this one here, that one there, and that one there. Then the rights issue. For the rights issue, what do? You compute a tape. This is the tape calculation for the rights issue. The 10 shares you had, the market price was 3.10 to give you $31. The rights issue, the one share that you got under the rights issue, was issued at 2 to give you 2. Then you add 31 plus 2 to give you 33, and then you add the number of shares now that you have. You have 11, so 33 divided by 11, your tape is $3.3. So that's the $3. The 310, that's the market value of the shares. So that's your bonus fraction. So this one also, you apply it retrospectively to the months before the rights issue. That's why it is starting to these shares April going back to January. So now that we have the weighted average number of shares, we can compute the EPS. So the EPS will be 400,000 divided by the number of shares, the weighted average number of shares of 2,431,500, which is this total number of shares here. So we have to restate the previous year's EPS. To restate the previous year's EPS, you get the reciprocal of the bonus fraction. Okay, see the bonus fraction there, 3.10 divided by 3. So to restate, you flip the bonus fraction, then you restate, then you apply also the bonus fraction for the for the bonus issue. So you can now restate the previous year's EPS to give you 17.1. So move to another segment of EPS in the next video.